Greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the Vault. Trust Christian own, nothing control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live and listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 333, Training versus Entertainment. Once again, we appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time episode where we go over things every Tuesday at 8 p.m. For the standard episodes. And then if you want to go back in the replay, always appreciate everybody that goes back and listens in the replay. So definitely want to move forward today with a great episode. We provide trustee training at the vault, so it is apropos that we distinguish ourselves from these entertainment operations going on out here in business when we talk about business training, business consulting. So this is the Vault episode 333, Training versus Entertainment. Appreciate people for tuning in live, listening to replay. This may go over in the public as slightly controversial because when we talk about the versus aspect of it, training versus the entertainment, we really see that our training program is very serious, it's very focused, it's very dedicated. It's for the student mentality. It's not for someone coming with the mentality of being coddled. Some people say, oh, well, we need our hands held. Ladies and gentlemen, we deal with people's team. So if you have a lawyer, have an accountant, when we talk about trustee training, we're dealing with those people. We still want to talk about training with them. They don't need to be entertained. Your team does not need to be entertained. When we talk about having good lawyers, having good accountants around you, we're not looking to entertain them. We're looking to make sure that they are aware of what is it that you're doing, what is it that you're possibly working on with the vault. Always appreciate you all. Uh, we got Mississippi tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate Mississippi for tuning in live, listening to replay. We also got Tulsa, Oklahoma tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate Tulsa, Oklahoma. So this is a very important topic that we're just going to go ahead and discuss because this is a long awaited episode. Just so many people come into the vault and they ask, well, what type of training am I going to get? You're not going to get the training that you're going to be entertained in. This is the bare bones hard facts. This is the statistics. This is the black and white. This isn't your feelings. This is getting business done as usual. It's a continuing education training program. Appreciate Port Allen, Louisiana for tuning in live, listen replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen replay from Port Allen, Louisiana. Just want to let everybody know we got our next workshop coming up on September 25th. It's going to be in Orlando. Just feel free to reach out so you can get the actual details. Feel free to reach out to get over to the workshop. It is going to be a 1 day workshop from 9 to 5 as usual on Saturday, September 25th. We're definitely looking forward to people joining us. We have many trustees that are going to be there, but we are opening up our doors once again. And once that limit is at capacity, we'll move forward with, moving into another trustee training. We've already had a trustee training this year for trustees. It was a packed room. We had an enrolled agent in the room. We have financial advisors in the room. We have professional traders in the room. We have entrepreneurs. We have investors and the like. And so this particular workshop obviously is always going to be catered to the trustees, particularly that are in the training currently. So just looking to bring them the best. By bringing them the best, we're talking about now making sure to back in front of financial advisors. Once again, to have the licenses, and then we're talking about being in front of entrepreneurs, honestly, taking businesses from zero to $1 million gross revenue currently, and things of that nature. Being able to, help people establish these relationships in the private sector. This is one of the biggest fall offs that you see in the private sector. Is everybody wants to go private, but then they don't have a support system. So what the training program does, it provides a support system for trainees, trustees, in training, and the like. People that are what we call in the private or going private, they can establish and rub shoulders with people in the sector. We do have a majority base in the majority in the room. Usually, is going to be trustees, and so in turn, that means that they're already training private sector. people, whether it's investing, whether it's entrepreneurship. So we look forward to you coming to that workshop. You can reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Feel free to reach out. Get over to the workshop. It's a 1 day workshop, September 25th in Orlando. We're going to make sure that we do it right. Feel free to reach out Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, training. Some people say, oh, well, is it any type of laughing matter? Ladies and gentlemen, people reach out to the vault, say that they're looking to change their family's financial future for generations or sustain their family's financial future for generations. It is a serious matter. It was one of those things when we first started in trustee training. One of the mentors said, there's two things that you don't mess with, Trust Christian. And that is, and the vault listeners, you don't mess with people's money and their family. And so when you're in the training and you're aware that, you're focused on family, training, whether it's individuals or family. But the entertainment aspect, that's for their leisure. Some trustees may say, oh, well, we definitely can see that that's the case and we know that that's the case. You do. And that's why we're here. Because we made sure that our trustees are aware of what isn't a laughing matter. What isn't a laughing matter is trusteeship. If it only were a laughing matter. And we're going to go ahead and put this out there on the table. That maybe not all laughing, but laughing in the respect of hearing a truth, that is a coping mechanism. So when people hear the truth, sometimes they like to laugh. Oh, that is true. And they laugh it off. It's a coping mechanism. Because they know that it's true and it hurts. Well, see, in the training, we have trustees that say, okay, they're going to put their head down, they're going to learn it, they're going to do it. We always see the cream rise to the top in trustee training. Cream to the top meaning if you're first gen, you got to make the cream rise to the top. If we're dealing with second or third gen, then we already know, okay, these people are just looking to diversify their portfolio. They already have a portfolio established. Do you have a portfolio established? It's not a laughing matter to not have a portfolio established. Do you have a portfolio established of assets or do you have a portfolio of liabilities? What does the portfolio look like right now? Is it cash flow positive or is it debt ridden? Once again, not a laughing matter. So when we talk about trustees in training, we're talking about them saying, hey, how do I manage from the best possible position? How do I manage being trained properly? So we're going to talk about the system because that's what it comes down to. And whether it wants to be known or not, there has to be a training system. The vault has it trains in a system. It's a training system. The workshops are a part of your family legacy. So when your family gets to the point of having 30 and 40 and 50 people in the room, they can come together and you can be used to that cohesion. When it comes to 50 people coming to a family reunion for business matters, talking about family estate, children from second gen, third gen, fourth gen are in the room, third gen in the room. That comes from training. The training is unconscious. That means when you're in the environment, you're learning things that you don't know that you don't know. Because you're in an environment that's it's almost irreplaceable. To be in private environments is obviously a great thing. To be behind closed doors in different environments is even better. Specifically, successful models. When you see successful entrepreneurs, when you see successful investors, we're not talking about the internet ones. We're talking about the ones that have a diverse portfolio. Their portfolio is not just dealing with crypto. It's not just dealing with real estate. It's not just dealing with trading. We're seeing people have diverse portfolios that play when we're talking about training. We were thinking about a great example of what training versus entertainment looks like. Entertainment looks like somebody that lives in a first world country, has one house, paying on it with a mortgage, and has 8 cars in their driveway, and they may have paid off 3 or 4, but and if they have 8 cars, they still have 5 car payments. That's entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, where people can have 8 cars in their driveway, a mortgage on a property, and literally that's considered success. So when we talk about training, see, this is where the training starts to hurt. This is when the laugh comes now. People want to laugh for a coping mechanism. Here's the training. The mentor said, pay for your dream life in cash. Are you ready for that truth, trustees? The mentor said, pay for your dream life in cash. How hard is that? How easy is that? Are you going to cut the corners now? Because guess what? The ones that stuck to what the mentor said, they won. You want to hear the truth? They won. The ones that did what the mentor said do, they won. What did the mentor say do? The mentors trained us, own not to control everything. The mentor said, pay for the dream life in cash. Don't lease it. Don't give up your freedom as a trustee. Entertainment, though, says, why not take out 8 loans? You're in the private sector. That's the entertainment. What's the training? The training says, I got to surround myself around the right people so I can get the information. It's either the information or the people. You need people to implement the information, and you need people to give you the information. They work together. That's the training. The training is focused on communications and people. That deals with leadership. Training. Leadership development training. Entertainment, we know what that is. People are looking at entertainers as their role models, as their leaders. Training them. Right? No, it's entertaining them. So let's get to the training. The training says, well, Judge Christian, the vault, we got to learn a lot of stuff. It looks like we're coming from an employee to an entrepreneur investor. We're going to talk to some of them. How does that look? Well, training says it's business, not personal. It's own nothing, control everything. It's training. It's you getting the books. It's you getting the knowledge. Then becoming a force to be reckoned with. In the information age, in the financial information age, the training. We talked to a trustee. Trustees are baffled when they talk to Trust Christian in the vault. They're baffled. Well, Trust Christian in the vault, if you don't listen to the news, if you don't watch the news, how are you getting your financial information? I guess it's hard for them to hear that I keep my ear to the street, but that means nothing to people that don't know what slang is. What ebonics is, what bad language is. A bad adjective. I keep my ear to the streets, or a metaphor. You keep your ear to the streets. I don't need to be on the internet. You can go look up reports. They come out. They announce them on the news. So once you see them, we trustees go through the trading. They go through the trading webinars with Cornell, who's going to be at the workshop. That's what happens. You get that information. Appreciate Memphis, Tennessee for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate Memphis, Tennessee for tuning in live and listening to replay. We got our workshop coming up in Orlando on the 25th of September. Feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to seeing you at the workshop. For trustees, even people getting consultations, we're going to tie that into the consultation. So feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that is Christian at trustchristian.com. Training. We went from the employee we're going to the entrepreneur. Should we really get the business set up? We sat in front of entrepreneurs in the past 30 days. How can you call yourself an entrepreneur? Which we caught them slipping. They weren't calling themselves entrepreneurs. And that's why they have 2 to 3 properties under their hands. And guess what? They're a liability now. But guess what? What's even worse? They're receiving all the money in their name. Oh, did you open up a LLC bank account? Are you doing it the proper way? Do you have the documentation on file? Oh, that's a bright idea, Trust Christian Vault. Maybe I need to do that. I'll do it in the next 30 days. The next 30 days. But you're your greatest liability to your company right now. Let you tell it. Do you have officers, errors, and missions insurance on yourself? Do you have key man insurance? Does the company have key man insurance on you? Or that might be a little expensive. Did you check the quote? Did you get the price? You're an entrepreneur, you're an investor. You're thinking intuitively. Training for first gen entrepreneurs that are already entrepreneurs. What are they saying? They're saying, hey, look, I'm in business. I have some questions. I'm still a student. I'm learning. I'm looking to do my best to monetize and automate any parts of the business that I can. If not, the fancy word of the day is scale the business. Or if not, create some level of proprietary royalty that can come off of the property. Because when you're dealing in any type of business at this point, you're dealing in assets. Assets are property. So you're dealing with that level of training. You're dealing with everything as property, whether it's an idea. You're everybody signs an NDA. At this point, when you go through training, everybody signs an NDA. There's a company. When you work for other companies, don't they make you sign an NDA? Yes. But for some odd reason, we have entrepreneurs, we have investors sometimes that will say, well, why would I make this person sign a non-disclosure agreement? Or what is it a little challenging to get a lawyer to sign a non-disclosure agreement when they tell me it's already in confidentiality? Oh, really? What else? What about the accountants? Can they sign an NDA? Who can sign an NDA? Sometimes when you do wholesale deals, they have letters of intent that keep it private. Once you have it on contract, they almost say it's private at that point. It's no more real halfway public off market listing because you have it under contract. But oh no, no. Are we hearing this information come from the public? No, we're not. But this is why the trustees are in trustee training. This is why the trustees move forward because they understand the difference between own nothing, control everything. They know that they have to move differently now. It's business, not personal. It's never been personal. Entertainment. This is what the entertainment says. I own everything. That's what the entertainment says, even though they're in private trust. When we talk about uh, politicians, are we talking about blind trust? There's over 80 different types of trust, they say. So the training, we have specific training for a specific one. Entertainment. Oh, we could use the cup of tea today. There's always going to be another one that's already 80 plus. What's the next one going to be? The training and trustee training says there is a beginning and there is an end to the training. Uh, it is focused on helping individuals or families look forward to the outcomes of learning how to make money giving it away. Ultimately, trustee training, you got to learn how to make money giving it away. Because if you don't own it, you control it. So you have to learn how to make money giving it away. You have to learn how to be trained in that philosophy. And we go through that with our trustees. We do that continuously. It's a mindset development process. And so that's what we really work with our trustees doing is the own nothing, control everything mindset through and through. People say, well, where is it going to my kids? Warren Buffett even says it's not going to his kids. It's going to who? It's going to what? It's going to charity. That's where it's going. When we talk about great investors, they usually know how to position themselves and their families properly. Whereas a lot of entertainers, which are focused on entertainment, they don't really seem to have that one aspect down. And so we deal with them, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think that we don't. We know what the situation we just described from the beginning. They got one or two houses, maybe it's paid off, but they got two or three cars, and maybe eight cars, maybe 10 cars, maybe 11 cars. And not all of them are paid off, ladies and gentlemen. And so when we talk about, training versus entertainment, these are people that are well known around, and this is just what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you can live in a country such as the United States and have 8 car notes and 10 car notes and a mortgage. This is what happens. This is what you can do. This is how easy it is to look successful. If you have business credit, if you have good credit, quote unquote, in general, people can do these things. Not to say it's a disadvantage, not to say it's a bad position. It's just a position that when most people really get into that position, they'll think they're more underwater than they are. Whether somebody can afford that lifestyle or not, most people will think that they they have to afford that lifestyle. They have to afford it more than just have it outright. And that's what the training trains individual trustees is to know that you have to buy the dream in cash. You're trained. Children are trained to be trustees at single digit numbers. 10 years old, 9 years old. You're a trustee. Is that so hard to get? For many it is. But the ones that get it, they train their families to be successors. They know that out of a bunch, they can get one or two. Ladies and gentlemen, in training, we train you to get over your fears. Train families to get around blockages. We're not here to entertain families. Period. We're focused on training families and working with families that want to further be engaged in our IP, be further engaged in trustee training in the private sector. We look forward to hearing from all of you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. We have the workshop coming up. We look forward to hearing from you all. Once again, training versus entertainment. There's no need to entertain, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much of it going on out there in the world. The vault has to be that wellspring of educational trusteeship because this is what's needed in order for you to pass along the wealth from one generation to the next. You think you can just do it by yourself in an island as a family in trusteeship? Sure. It's families coming together. It's people coming together in the same sector. Feel free, Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you all. Peace and joy.